Good morning, students. How are you all? This is your English teacher, and today we are going to talk about what is a determiner. A determiner is a word that is used before a noun to fix its meaning. I've been telling this before also. A determiner is a word that specifies about the noun. It fixes the meaning of the noun, and it is always used before a noun. In the last videos, we had studied about articles, possessives, demonstratives, interrogatives. And in this video, we're going to study about quantifiers, number and distributives. So let us proceed. Quantifiers. Now, as the name suggests, it tells about the quantity of the noun. How much is the quantity of the noun? Some, any, many, more, little, few, less. These all function as quantifiers. Now, when to use some and when to use any. This is very confusing some of the times. But after watching this video, it won't be any more. Some. Sum points toward a certain number of or amount, a quantity or degree. Sum is used in affirmative sentences, and that means positive sentences. The thirsty traveler drank some water. Or you can use some in questions where the answer is always yes. Did you buy some new clothes? Yes, I did buy some new clothes. Or yes, I bought some new clothes. Or you may use some in while asking or offering something. Could you buy me some sweets? See, it's a request. Or would you like to have some chocolates? So some is used in positive sentences, that means affirmative sentences. Then in questions where the answer is always yes. And in offers and request. When used with a singular countable noun, some means unspecified or unknown. Whenever it is used with a singular countable noun, at that time some means some sort of anonymous thing. Like here in this sentence, some strange man keeps making blank calls. Here the speaker is not aware that who is that strange man. So he is using the word some. So I hope this is clear. Now comes any. Any points towards a certain number or amount, a quantity or degree. Any is used in negative sentences. I haven't got any new clothes. Negative, although I have told this to you before, negative means certain sentences where the word no, not, never comes. Interrogative sentences, when you want to ask question and you're not sure about the answer, in that case you use any. Have you got any exciting plans? Or with hardly, barely, scarcely. There is hardly any milk left. There is one more usage. Any conveys either every or nothing particular. Take any book you like. It means you can take any book. There is no particular specification. So I hope some is clear, any is clear. Now comes little, a little and the little. Little, a little, the little. Little, a little, the little denote quantity and are used before uncountable nouns. So we use little, a little and the little with uncountable nouns. Uncountable noun means which that you cannot count on your fingers or which you can never count. Like water. Can you count water? No. You may count water but in some unit. You cannot count water in number. Or can you count salt? Can you count sand? No. For that, you need to have some unit. 1 cup of sand, or one spoon of sugar, or 1 spoon of salt. And there are certain things that are countable that you can count, like pens. You can count pens. You don't need a unit to count it. So those are called countable nouns, and these are called uncountable nouns. So little, a little and the little specifies quantity and is always used before uncountable nouns. Now comes little. Little denotes scarcity or lack of something. It is almost negative in meaning. There is little joy in eating alone. That means there is not much joy. No one can be happy while eating alone. Now comes a little. A little conveys the idea of a small amount, that still there is something. It has a more positive meaning. That means a little means more than little. A little hope is enough to sustain. If you want to be alive, a little hope is enough. Then the little. The little basically means the only small amount. Like the little milk in the pan was not enough for the hungry baby. Like 4 or 5 drops or a sip of milk was there in the pan. That means very less in quantity and also the whole quantity. We are referring to the whole small quantity. Like I drank the little juice that was in the jug. That means it was hardly a sip and you drank it. So I hope this is clear. Little, a little, the little. Few, a few, the few. See, the trick is few, a few, the few are just like little, a little, the little, but it is always used before a countable noun. Few, a few, the few are always used before a countable noun. Countable noun means that can be counted. So few. Few denotes scarcity or lack of something. It is almost negative in meaning. There are few girls in the class. That means hardly 1 or 2 girls. There are not many girls in the class. A few. A few conveys idea of small number, that there is some sort of positivity in it. A few teachers were absent on Saturday. A few teachers means 4 teachers or 5 teachers. Not much, but a few. The few, the few conveys the idea of the only quantity available. The few voters, that means maybe 10 voters, who had come to cast their votes were excited. So this is the only amount and it is being utilized. In that case, we use the few. So I hope it is clear. Little, a little, the little, few, a few, the few. Now comes much and many. Both much and many convey the idea of a lot of. A lot of. Much is used with an uncountable noun, whereas many is used with a countable noun. Much takes a singular verb and many takes a plural verb. I don't have much time. I don't have many friends. That can be counted. In that case we use many, and if it cannot be counted, in that case we use much. See, the thing is, both the comparative and the superlative form of much and many are more and most. More means comparative and most means superlative. So I hope this is clear. Much, uncountable noun, many, countable noun. Now comes comparative determinants. More, less, fewer. More is used to refer an additional quantity of something. Whenever there is something extra, in that case we use more. More is also used when you are comparing two nouns. It is followed by than. THAN. I have more ice cream in the fridge. That means I have extra quantity of ice cream in the fridge. Second example, she reads more than I do. Here we are doing comparison. So I hope more is clear. Less is used to refer to an amount of something that is smaller than the other amount. It is usually used before uncountable nouns. When you are comparing two things and the quantity is less, in that case we use less. I sleep less than my brother. Less than my brother. It is generally used before uncountable nouns. Fewer. Fewer is used before plural nouns to refer to a group of things that is smaller than another group. It works as less only. The thing is, less is used with uncountable noun and it is used with countable noun. I have bought fewer books this year than previous year. Here we are doing comparison and books can be counted. So I hope this concept of more, less and fewer is clear. So now let us proceed to distributives. So the first distributive is all. All can be used with both countable noun and uncountable noun. We know when to use all. All means in general all. When everyone is being covered in that. All of you have to come tomorrow. That means everyone is being covered. All the glasses in the crate were empty. See, all is used with plural countable noun and it takes a plural verb. All the boys were absent. Whenever there is a plural countable noun, like in this case, the boys, in that case we use a plural verb. And whenever it is with an uncountable noun, in that case we use a singular verb. All this money, now money is uncountable. All this money is useless for me. I hope all is clear. All means in general all. Now each and every. Each and every refers to an individual person particularly. We use each and every before a singular noun to talk about a whole group. Each marks a number of things or persons in a group but considered individually. Each balloon is of different color. That means you have brought 20 balloons to a party and all the balloons are of different color. You won't be able to see any color being repeated. So if there is one red, one yellow, one green, one blue, one white, one black, one golden, one purple, one pink, it will be one each. In that case, we use each. Now comes every. Every is used when the group is considered as a unit, as a whole. Like every balloon is made up of rubber. In this case, we are talking about the whole unit. In that case, we are referring to all the balloons as every. Every balloon is made up of rubber. We are not mentioning which rubber. Each balloon is made up of so and so rubber. See, there are many varieties of rubber. So we have made one unit, balloons. Every balloon is made up of rubber. But when I say each means everything individually. Like for example, each one of you needs to pass this examination. That means each one of you will pass the examination. Second example, every. Every student studies regularly. Now, there might be some students who are not studying regularly. There might be one or two students who are not studying regularly. But then still, I'm considering it as a whole. But when I'm saying each, that means I'm being specific, each thing or each person individually. Neither, either. Neither means none within the group. None, zero. And it is always followed by a singular verb. Neither of the books is interesting. That means none of the books is interesting. It is always used with a singular verb. Neither can also be followed by nor to combine two negatives. Neither this nor that. Neither failures nor discouragement could stop Milka Singh. Sometimes we use neither with nor do. This is clear, this is clear. Either means any one of them. If there are many options and you are picking one. In that case, we use either, and it is also followed by a singular verb. Either of these dresses is fine. That means you have certain dresses and you feel like any one of them is fine, good to go. Either is followed by or. You can either come with me or stay at home. So neither nor, either or. Another, other, enough. Another is used with singular countable noun to talk about an additional person or thing, another, of the same type as has already been mentioned. Would you like another cup of coffee? That means a person is already having coffee and you're offering him more. Other. Other is used with plural nouns or sometimes with countable nouns. Other people must have gone out. I made other plans. Enough. Enough is used before uncountable nouns or plural nouns to say something as is needed or as many things are as needed. Enough means sufficient. The library had enough space for new books. That means the library had sufficient space for new books. Most indicates nearly all of a group or amount. Most, superlative form. Most farmers depend upon traditional methods of irrigation. That means most of them, majority of them. Several indicates number. That is not very large in number, but it is more than 2. She has written several books. Several book means 4 books, 5 books, but not 10, 20, 100 books, 1000 books. But it has to be more than 2. So another clear, an option of the same category. Other means in general, other. Enough means sufficient. Most means majority of the quantity. And several means number that is not very large but more than 2. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now comes numerals. That means numbers. See, there are two types of numerals. First is cardinal, second is ordinal. Cardinal means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Or 1000 or 2000 or 5000. So I have 4 books. I have 5 cell phones. There are 10 members in my family. Or I have scored 68 marks. So this is a number. Then comes ordinal. Ordinal means first, second, 205th, 100th. Basically a rank or maybe a position. I stood second in my class, or the fourth boy from the left is my friend. So cardinal number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ordinal means position number that indicates position. So I hope this is clear. This is the easiest one. So in this video we had talked about quantifiers, which is clear to you, then distributives, that is also clear to you, and then numerals. So I hope this topic is clear. Determiners we have finished. We have done articles, we have done possessives, we have done interrogatives, then we have done demonstratives, and in this video we have talked about quantifiers, numerals, and distributives. So all the 7 types of determiners are finished. So this is it. Thank you. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe. And we'll meet in next class.